Okay, you should be ready for step two now. Just a couple reminders what we've done. And remember, I want you to do this step by step. So after you watch the video for step one, do step one, and then watch the video for step two, do step two. For step three, watch the video and then do step three. If you do it in that sequence, you're going to be more successful. And that comes to when we do the value building too. You should have already gotten the horizon line in place, the vanishing points drawn in and labeled, horizon line at the left labeled, EL at the right labeled. Remember, the horizon is our eye level too. So when I'm looking at this box that we just drew on eye level, half of it is below my eye level and half of it is above eye level. This is the line that separates the ground from the sky. So it's sitting on the ground, but it's a big building or it's a really big box. All right. Um, I didn't have you label it, so on the right hand side of it, just write the label on EL. It's partially above and partially below the horizon line. That means it's on eye level. All right. Now we're going to do one that's above eye level completely. So let's put this one closer to the vanishing point at the left. I'm putting my ruler at 5 inches on the horizon line. I'm just on the other side of the left of the box that we've already drawn. I want to make sure my ruler is parallel to the edge of the paper, a 90-degree angle to the horizon line before I do any drawing. We're going to make a 2-inch long box again. So I'm going to start at 1 inch above this one that's on the horizon line. So that's 4 inches in my case. Have your ruler so it's going off the page at the top and at the bottom. That way you're going to have better control of your measurements. I'm putting the mark for the 5-inch on the horizon line. I'm drawing a line that's vertical from 4 inches to 2 inches to make a 2-inch long line, and I'm stopping right at 2 inches. So there's my vertical line. That's the middle of my box, right? That's where you always start. This is going to be the bottom of the box closest to us. This is going to be the top of the box closest to us. And we're going to go to the vanishing point at the left and to the one at the right. So put your ruler or your pencil once again at the top of the line in this case, and we're going to put the ruler up against the pencil and move the ruler up against the vanishing point on the horizon line at the other end of it, and then draw your line in. Remember, don't press too hard so you can erase parts of it. And then let's do it at the right hand side too. We're going to go over to this vanishing point now from the same place where we started at the top with the other one. Put your pencil on it, put your ruler up against it, put your ruler up against the vanishing point at the right, and draw your line in. Remember, keep it light so you can erase a lot of line. All right. Now our next step is we're going to do the bottom of the line to the left and to the right vanishing points the same way, so that we can enclose the left face and enclose the right face to a point from top to bottom. We need to go from side to side too. And we'll take this line, and you'll notice that my line is going to cut through the first box that we drew. That's called overlapping. We're going to stop it when we get to that box's edge, but we want to make sure that we put our ruler right along the at the vanishing point along the horizon line. Make sure that it's lined up with this one, and then draw your line in and stop when you meet up with the first box, because this box is overlapping our view of that box a little bit. All right. Now we have to do a little bit of figuring out where everything belongs after that. So what I like to do is I like to just draw a really light mark where I think it's going to make where they're going to meet up. So I could just extend that line a little bit farther to know where I'm going to put in this edge and that edge to make the back edge of the box. So now we've done the left side. Let's do the right side. We're going to go over farther from that center line to the back edge of this box than we did at the left-hand side, than we will at the left-hand side, because it's closer to the horizon line and the vanishing point there at the left than it is at the right. So we need to make it look like it's more tilted toward us for this face. So I'm going to start that mark just on the other side of the center line for the first box. And remember, I want it to be parallel to the front edge for the back edge. This is where a lot of you didn't do too well. You made it go crooked at the back. They're straight up and down. They're parallel to the front edge. So make sure that you mark it, you go to where you want it to be, and you're starting at the top edge of the first box. Don't go all the way into it. See, there's a little corner here where I'm not going to draw, all right? But I've got the placement of where I want it to be. So this first line, this back line here is parallel to the front edge. It's just the back edge of that right face of the box. And then I'm going to do the same thing at the left-hand side. Now this is going to give me a pretty reasonably good-looking cube. I want to make this distance from the left, from the center to the back, a little bit less than it is from the center to the right. Okay, so make sure it's parallel to the front edge, parallel to the sides of the paper, 90-degree angle to the horizon line, and draw your line in from top to bottom. So that's your back of that face on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side. Now we're going to do the bottom. So because this box is completely above our eye level, we're going to see not just these front two faces that are facing more directly toward us, but we're also going to see the bottom of the box. It's above our eye level, so we see it, okay? So we're going to draw a line that goes from this left-hand point at this corner, right here at the back edge. So where this line went to the vanishing point here from the front, where it meets up at the back, we're going to start there, put your pencil at that corner, and move your ruler up against it, and we're going to go to this vanishing point on the right-hand side. It's supposed to be parallel to the front edge at the back edge, but remember, we're doing perspective. We're creating a trick. We're fooling people into believing that it's going back in space. And we just stop when we get to this box, but I'm going to extend it just a little bit, kind of lightly, so that I can make some edges going back to the opposite vanishing point for the other side of the box. So if you do it really lightly. You can do it without drawing the lines into it. If you're an advanced student, it's easy. So now where this line meets up with this line, the back edge meets up with the bottom edge for the right face of the box at this little corner. Remember, I didn't draw it all the way in. I just kind of said, okay, here's where I want it to be. And I'm putting my pencil there, and I'm putting my ruler up against the left-hand vanishing point. And now I can see that all of that back edge of that box is hidden by the front edge of the box. So I don't even need to draw it, but I'm going to draw it in just so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, we'll erase it. So there's the bottom edge of the box that I can see. We've already drawn this edge in. We don't need to go any farther with it. So now we've got our box three-dimensionalized above eye level. Once you've got it done, label it above EL for being above eye level completely. Take your eraser and erase all the guidelines that helped you to get to where you save just the box that you've drawn. If you did like me and you drew through the first box, make sure you erase those lines too, because they're not really there. They just helped us to get there. All right, so that's your next step. Erase them. When you're done with that, go on to step 4.